All right, guys, welcome on board. In our previous class, we stopped on indices, and I was introducing equation to you. I said an equation is a mathematical expression that is either true or false. So an equation is a mathematical expression that is either true or false. And we have two types of equation. We have number sentences and we have alphabet sentences. Now, number sentences is these that are written up here. That is true. 2 plus 5 equals 7. Whenever you add 2 to 7, whenever you add 2 to 5, you always get 7. And that is a true statement. And this we call number sentence. That is called number sentence. Now, this over here, 5 minus 1 equals to 8, is a false sentence or a false statement. What that means is that it is not true. It is not true. So this as well is a number sentence or number equation. Now, at the other end, we have what we call alphabet equation. Alphabet equation. An example of an alphabet equation is an equation that have an sorry. All right, I said an alphabet equation is an equation with an unknown that is represented with a letter. For instance, what do we call unknown? Unknown are what is represented with an alphabet that we need to find. For instance, if I write x plus 5 equals to 8, what will x be? Obviously, x is an unknown. X is an alphabet. So this is called an alphabet sentence because what is to be found is represented with an alphabet X. So let me interpret this one to you. It means, what must I add to 5 that will give me 8? What must be added to 5 to give the sum of 8? What must be added to 5 to give the sum of, let's think. Think. Okay, let's count. The easiest way to do it is this. Start counting from the next number after 5 until you get to 8. Then you know what you must add to 5 to get 8. So in your head, there is 5, and you go 6, 7, and 8. So what is that? 3. It is 3 that must be added to 5 to get 8. So our x is 3 plus 5. Therefore, our unknown x is 3 because it is 3 that must be added to 5 to get 8. All right, so let's go on to what I explained here. Let's go on to what I explained here. I said in mathematics, we make use of number equation like I've explained on the board. Example, e.g., 12 plus 8 equals 20. Now, let me ask you that. Is that a true equation or a false equation? Yes? What do you say? 12 plus 8 gives what? 20. 12 plus 8 is 20. So it's a true equation. It's a true equation. Let's go to example 2. 15 minus 3 equals 12. Is that true? Is 15 minus 3 equals 12? Yes, that is also correct. So, number 2, we have algebraic equation. We said we have two types of equation. We have number equation, and now we have algebraic equation. And what do we mean by algebraic equation? An algebraic equation is an equation that has both numbers and alphabet. I explained it over here. An equation that has both number and an unknown represented with an alphabet is called an algebraic equation. So over here, you have x plus 8 equals 20. X plus 8 equals 20. What is x? Now, let me interpret it for you to make it simpler. What must be added to 8 to give 20? What must I add to 8 to give 20? The same method applies. If you know, let's assume you've forgotten all the ways we used to calculate. The easiest way to go to do this is put the 8 in your head. 8 in your head. I'm teaching you elementary sum. How they teach nursery. Okay, 8 in your head, right? So you're going to count from that next number after 8 until you get to 20. Then you know what your x is. What must be added to 8 to get 20? So let's go. 8 in my head, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So, 20, and that makes what? 12. It is 12 that must be added to 8 to give 20. Look at another example here. 9 minus y equals 3. What number must I subtract from 9 that will give the answers 3? The same way. Put that answer in your head, 3, and count from the next number after 3, then you know what you must take away from 9 to get 3. So let's count. 3 in your head. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 6. So it is 9 minus 6 that gives 3. It is 3 that you must subtract from 9. It is 6 that you must subtract from 9 to get 3. So let's go to some exercises here. Let's solve some exercises quickly. This one says, solve the following equation. Solve the following equation. Let's see how that goes. All right? I have explained to you that we have 2 types of equation. One, sentence equation, number equation, the one that includes only numbers. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 7 minus 1 equals 6. All these are number sentences. Another one, or number equation. Another one is algebraic equation. The one that have both number and an alphabet together in a sentence. That is an algebraic equation. So you have some of those algebraic equations right here. Let's solve. This instruction says, solve the following equation. Number 1 says, x plus 11 equals 30. Now, let me teach you this method that you're used to. This method you're used to. All right? Now, the method says this. X plus 11 equals 30. Now, the only odd one out in this equation is x. X is an alphabet. Is the odd one out. So we have to isolate it. Let me explain. You know, whoever catches or contracts coronavirus is going to be isolated. What does that mean? Such a person will be taken out of the gathering of people. The person will be taken out from his house, from his family, from the society where he lives, and be put in a place where only him will stay, so that he will not infect other people with the virus. The same thing here. We have to isolate X, make X stand alone, so that these like terms, 11 and 30, will come together as brother and sister. Yes, because they belong to number family. These belong to alphabet family. So this guy must travel from here to meet its family member 30. When that happens, this number needs to cross a bridge. The bridge is called equal to. Any number that crosses this equal to sign, the sign in front of that number changes. For example, if you are going to pay a visit to your cousin's house or your nephew's house or your sibling, your aunt or your uncle, won't you go with your luggage? Yes, you're going to go with luggage, your bag that contains your clothes that you will need, items that you need, your toiletries, soap, cream, comb, okay? Likewise, the baggage that 11 needs to go with is the sign in front of it, plus. So 11 doesn't have to go alone. it must go with the plus. So when it goes with that sign plus, don't forget, any sign that crosses over the equal to sign to the other side changes. Therefore, plus will change to minus. If it was minus here before, it will change to plus the moment it crosses the equal to sign. Are you following? Okay, so bring your x down. Now that we have isolated x, and our 11 and our plus 11 is going to come here. Don't make the mistake of making it come in front of the other number. I give you an example. If a visitor comes to your house, does the visitor have a right to tell you to isolate your room so that he can sleep there? Authoritatively, for instance, your cousin came visiting and he came to your room and told you, Joanne, will you evacuate this room for me? I want to sleep. That is rude. Will you do that? No. You get it now? The same thing. This number here is the occupant of this place, is the owner of this space here. Any other number that is coming will come behind it. Therefore, what that means is that x will now be equal to 30. My plus 11 will now become what? Because it has crossed over this equal to sign, it becomes what? Minus 11. Correct. Brilliant pupils. You got it right. Yes, that means you're following. So our x will now become, take 11 away from 30. What do you have? Yes, fast, fast, fast. 11 away from 30. What do you have? 19. Brilliant pupils. So it is x equals to 11. That means 19 rather. That means it is 19 plus 11 that would give 30. Okay? It is 19 plus 11 that will give 30. Alternatively, another way of doing it, elementary way, like you are in nursery 1 or lower primary. What must I add to 11 to give 30? You think in your head, what must I add to 11 to give 30? Oh, say 11 in my head, then you start counting from the next number after 11 until you get to 30. So let's do that together. All your fingers will be needed. 11 in my head, so let's go 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That is 15 already. 27, 28, 29, 30. That makes 19. Is that not what we got over there? Yes. Okay? So, but in order not to waste time, you don't want to go the elementary way, you can do this. Simply watch out. This number and number, they belong together. Bring the number to the other side. Make sure the sign in front of it goes with it. And if it crosses the equal to sign to the other side, the equal to sign, the sign changes to the other sign. Plus changes to minus. So we have 30 minus 11 equals to 19. So let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. What is the next one? What are we told to do in the next one? What are we told to do in the next one? Let's see what we're told to do. Next one says x minus 12 equals to 20, equals to 8. X, number 2, let me use another marker. Number 2, x minus 12 equals to 8. X minus 12 equals to 8. Now, in your head, let me interpret this one to you. It means, what must I subtract 12 from to get 8? What number will I take away 12 from to get 8? Now, elementary way, put that answer 8 in your head and count from the next number after 8 until you get to 12. We are doing that because this is subtraction. That is why you're putting these in your head first. So 8 in your head, let's count together from the next number after 8 to get to 12. Okay, like I was saying, that you have to put these 8 in your head and count from the next number after 8 to get to 12 to know what you must subtract 12 from to get 8. So 8 in your head. Let's count. 9, 10, 11. Sorry. No, you must count, put 8 in your head until you get to 12. Let's first of all do this way. You have X. I told you this is the only one odd one out here, right? Because it's an alphabet. This is a number and that is another number. They belong together. They belong to the same family. So you must transfer this minus 12 to the other side. Don't forget I said, whenever the sign crosses this equal to sign, it changes to the other sign. For instance, minus will change to plus the moment it crosses this equal to sign. So what you're going to have is, bring your 8, minus 12 will now become plus 12. So X will now become what? 8 plus 12 is 20. 8 plus 12 is 20. 8 plus 12 is what? 20. So what must I subtract 12 from to get 8 is 20. Quickly, let's go to the next exercise. Let's go to the next exercise and see what we're told to do. 9x equals to 27. 9x equals to 27. That's also simple as well. Very simple. Let's see how that is done. 9 plus 9x, example 3, you have 9x equals to 27. How do we do this? Wait and find out how this is done. Now, 9x equals to 27. 9x equals to 27. 9x equals to 27. How do you do this? Now, an alphabet is attached to x, and that alphabet, that number is 9. A number is attached to x, and that number is 9. 9x equals to 27. Now, in order to get this your x, something must be done. We need our x to be isolated so that x can stay alone. But before we do that, what sign brought or bind x and 9 together? That sign is sign of multiplication. In order to unbind or separate 9 and x, you have to do the reverse or the opposite of the sign that brought them together. I explain again. Multiplication brought x and 9 together. To unbind them or separate them, do the reverse of multiplication, which is what? Division. The opposite of multiplication is division. That means to separate these two, you need to eliminate 9 by dividing both sides with the 9. Or simply say, this 9 comes here, crosses this equal to sign downwards, and it becomes what? Division, because it is multiplication that binds them together. So you have x equals to 27 divided by 9. So my x becomes, what's that? 3. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Another way, you can say this in your head. What will I multiply 9 with to give me 27? Let me read my 9 multiplication table. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 2, 18. 9 times 3, 27. Oh, 3. 9 times 3 is 27. Therefore, my x is what? 3. And that's how we got 3. Is that okay? Let's go to the next example. Let's go to the next example. Let's see what we're told to do there. This one says x over 6 equals to 4. X over 6 equals to 4. X over 6 equals to 4. So you have example 4. X over 6 equals to 4. Now, how do we do this? This one is quite easy as well. What you need to do is this. Make this one over 1 as well. Then the next thing you need to do is what? Cross multiply. The next thing is cross multiply. That means the denominator here multiplies this denominator here. The denominator here multiplies the numerator up. The numerator here multiplies the denominator down. What that means is x times 1 here, put your equal to and say 6 times 4. 6 times 4. Okay? So what is x times 1? X times 1 is x, and 6 times 4 is 24. Therefore, your x is 24. What that means is, what will I divide 6 with that will give me 4? What will I divide 6 with that will give me 4? Just simply do 6 multiplication table. 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 2, 4. 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 3, 18. 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 5, yes, 6 times 4, 24. That's why you have 4 here. 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 3, 18. 6 times 4, 24. And you see that 6 times 4 is 24. So what you must divide 6 with that will give you 4 is 24. How that is clear? Very easy, right? Okay, let's go to the next example. Let's go to the next example and let's see what we're told to do. The next example says, number 5, says 1 over 2x equals 5. The same thing. Let me make you see that well. The same thing you will do. 1 over 2x equals 5. So make this one 2 over 1. Make that over 1. The next thing is cross multiply. Cross multiply. That is, the denominator 2x multiplies the numerator 5. The denominator 1 multiplies the denominator 1. So you say the one with the alphabet starts first. 2x times 5 equals to 1 times 1. 2x times 5 is what? 2x times 5 is what? 10x. Equals to 1 times 1 is 1. Now, we need to isolate our x to get the value of x. What you do is do the reverse of the sign that bind x and 10 together. What sign bind 10 and x together? Multiplication. To separate them or to unbind them, do the reverse of multiplication. That means divide. So the x comes down, your x comes down, your x comes down, your x comes down, and 10 will come over here to divide 1. So you have x equals to 1 over 10. And that's your answer. X will become 1 over 10. So x will become 1 over 10. You get that? So that's your answer. We can check to see if you're right. So let's check. Check. We say 1 over 2x is 5. Let's see if it's true. Our x is 1 over 10. That means, let's interpret this. 1 divided by 2x should give you 5, right? So let's see how true that is. Let's see how true that is. So we have 1 divided by 2 times your x is 1 over 10. Let's see if it will give us 5. This one means 2 here 1, 2 here 5. So you have 1 divided by 1 over 5. Make this over 1, so it becomes 1 over 1 times 5 over 1. That becomes 1 times 5 over 1 times 1. 1 times 5 is what? 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 divided by 1 is 5. Is that not correct? Very correct. Very correct. And that is right. So this, our answer is 1 over 10. That will give us 5. So let's go to the last exercise under that one before we bring today's topic to a close. Before we bring today's topic to a close, let's see what the last exercise is asking us to do. All right, we have number 5, we have 2x squared plus 2 equals to 34. 2x squared plus 2 equals to 34. So let's see how this one is done. 2x plus 2 equals to 34. Now, this one as well is very simple. 2x plus 2, 2x squared plus 2 equals to 34. Equal to 34. Let's see how it's done. Now, the first thing you need to do is isolate 2x. Bring your 2x squared down. You have 2x squared. Now, your plus 2 comes to the other side. Your plus 2 comes to the other side. So you have 34 plus 2 change to minus 2. Okay? The next thing, bring your 2x downward, 2x squared downwards. So 34 minus 2 is what? 32. 32. You have 32. Now, what sign binds 2 and x squared together? A sign of multiplication. Sign of multiplication binds 2x, x2 and x together. So in order to separate them, do the reverse of multiplication. So bring down your x, and these 2 will come here to divide it. So x will now become 32 divided by 2. So you have, x squared. X squared will now become 2 here, 1, remainder 1. 2 in 12, 6. So x squared equals to 16. Whenever you come across something like this, I have told you in class, what you need to do is say, take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides. What that means is that, find the square root of x squared and find the square root of 16. So what's the square root of x squared? The square root of x squared is x equals to, what's the square root of 16? 4. Therefore, x equals to 4. So your answer is 4. Now, what that means is that one number will I square and multiply with 2 and add to 2 to give 34. So if I put 4 here, 4 squared is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 plus 2 is 34. That is why our answer is now what? 4. X equals to 4. X equals to 4. I hope that is clear. That is why our x equals to 4. So let's do the last one. 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 Yes, this one says simplify. It's the simplest of all. To simplify is the simplest of all. Simply add up the like terms. Collect the like terms. Collect the like terms. Collect the like terms and add it up. So simplify number 7. It says simplify 5x plus 7y plus 6x minus 2y minus 3x. The first thing you need to do is collect like terms. Collect like terms. What that means is that you collect the ones with x together and the one with y together. I said the first thing you need to do is collect like terms. Collect like terms. That means collect the ones with y together and the ones with x together. So let's do that. Because about 5x plus 6x minus 3x plus 7y minus 2y. 6x plus 5x gives you 11x. 11x minus 3x plus 7y minus 2y gives you 5 minus 2y. Now 11x minus 3x gives you what? 8x plus 7y minus 2y gives you 5y. You can't go further. This is your answer. Hello? don't ever make the mistake of saying 8x plus 5y equals to 13xy. No. This 8x belongs to X family, number with X. And this 5y belongs to Y family, numbers with Y. So you can never add them together. 5x plus 6x, 11x, 11x minus 3x, 8x, 7y minus 2y, 5y. And that is why our answer is 8x plus 5y. 8x plus 5y. And with that, we have come to the end of today's class. I hope you understood everything I have taught you today. If you have any question, feel free to send your question to my Gmail. The option is on your page. You make use of it. And if you can't do that, make sure you hit me up on WhatsApp. You have my number, your parents have my number. So you can send your question to me on WhatsApp. Until I come your way again, I remain your teacher, Mr. Ogunlaro. Please keep safe by always washing your hands under running water. Apply alcohol-based sanitizer. And if you must go out with your parents, make sure you are all wearing a nose mask. Bye for now. Love you all.